All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. We are here with Arjit for a market wrap. Today, we'll be talking about Nifty. Currently, it's at 24,092. We'll be talking about different sectors, banking sectors. We'll be talking about Access, IndusInd, and the AMC houses. We'll also be talking about Varun Beverages and Coal India. So stay, and stay. We'll get to that part. Arjit, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. And let's quickly have a look at what the markets really did today. So, an awesome session today. Nifty closed with almost gains of around 1%, 0.81% gains, around 200 points rally, closed at 24,092. And the final closing was 24,110.2. So, an awesome rally in Nifty. Sensex as well, the same number, 0.83% gains, around 700 points rally at 77,303, and the final closing was 77,360. So this tells us that the rally was beautiful today. It was a very nice positive day today, even though we had so many negative news coming in throughout the weekend. Yesterday there was some attack on the White House. Some dinner party was there, and at that time there was an assassination attempt for Donald Trump once again, which is a huge negative. Like, he's among the top leaders in the world, and an assassination attempt once again on the same guy, that's huge negative, especially during the war situation that is going on. So that was one negative. The other negative part was the US Iran ceasefire deal that was supposed to happen, the ceasefire talks that was supposed to happen. That never happened. And of course, on talking that the talks are supposed to happen in Pakistan, but still the talks did not happen. The update came in from the authorities that there's no such talk happening. But the positive thing out of this negative part of not the talks not happening is that the Iranian party, the people who are managing the entire talks from the Iran side, they're constantly going visiting other countries, maybe for a potential intervention, so that the other countries, say for example, Iran's party was there in Russia, so they were maybe there to for Russia to come in between and to help them solve this problem, and to allow both of the countries to come down to a ceasefire, or at least a peaceful talk could happen between both of the countries. So what we can analyze from all of the news and the data that is coming in is that the war looks like, it just looks like, there's no backing of data in this of any sort, but it just looks like that the war might now come to an end. If not to an end, at least there won't be any further escalations here, because there's no negative as such ki, there's some ships being attacked or countries are being attacked. Nothing of that sort is happening, at least for the last 2 weeks that we are watching the markets. So I believe now escalations cannot be ruled out, but at least we can put that aside, that okay, the war escalations are not going to happen. So that is one big positive for the markets today. Apart from that, if we look at the FI/DI data over here, wrong tab, just a second. Right. So if we just look at the FI/DI data here, if we look at the 24th April's closing numbers, we're seeing huge selling. And despite this, we are seeing that such positive momentum, this positive rally is still active in India. Right. So this tells us that the retailers that are there in our country, the retail participation has suddenly increased. Right. So that we are trying to overpower all of the FIIs that are there. Even though FIs are selling 8,000 crore, that's a huge number. Even though FIs are selling, still our markets are doing such positive, like they're giving out positive momentum throughout the day, which is a big positive. Another reason for the positive rally is if we look at the USD INR pair, which is our currency pair, we are seeing that there's some cool off happening here. We were somewhere over here when we last talked about USD INR. We were at around 94. And now from the high of 94.3, we are seeing some cool off happening, or at least the cool off is beginning at 94.19 right now. And even if we look at crude here, if we look at Brent crude over here, we are seeing some, again, same cool off that we are expecting here in Brent crude as well. It touched a high of 107, but now it is down to 106, and the pattern looks like it is going to end at least. It is going to fall at least till 104. If it breaks 104, maybe we'll touch $100 once again in Brent crude in the upcoming days, right? So these are some of the positive reasons, like macro level pay. These are the positive reasons why the markets were all good. If you look at the micro level things, like what are the stocks that are pushing the markets up, not just stop gaining stocks. I'm talking about stocks that are actually giving strength to the index, right? So in that, as you talked about in the introduction, we're going to talk about a couple of banking stocks like Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank. We also have EU Small Finance Bank, and apart from that, Coal India and Varun Beverages are also some of the stocks that, again, through their fundamental results, as we all know, quarter four results are coming in from all of the companies right now. So these are the companies, these are the stocks that are trying to give a little push to the market, a little push to Nifty as well as Sensex through their fundamentals, so that the markets, it won't look like the market is all bad, but there's some fundamental strength in some of the stocks that are ready to push the markets ahead. So going forward, we'll definitely talk about that as well. Vibhadan.
Got it, got it. No, let's straight away jump into the stocks and sectors, sir.
Sure. Quickly, let's talk about the top sectors for the market today. You look at this is the sectoral heat map that I've opened right now, and there's absolutely no sector in the red today. Now, this again tells us that not just sectorally, if you just look at the broader market indices over here on the NSE's website, you look at all of the indices, broader market indices, they're also in the green, which means mid cap, small cap, these are the two, I believe, the market caps that drive the market. Large cap तो है, large cap का contribution हो या ना हो, mid cap, small cap का contribution अगर नहीं है market rally में, then your markets would again go back to the bearish sentiment. The entire, the strength behind the market, it starts to fade away. But here we are seeing small cap, mid cap, all of them are green. You look at Nifty 200, Nifty 500, Nifty Next 50, all of them are in green, at least 1% gains. This means, just a second. This means that even though things are going very well globally, we are seeing that broader market strength is active, right? So broader market stocks, broader market sectors are driving the markets. Now quickly look at stocks. You look at stock heat map, we have Reliance Industries, once again a nifty heavyweight that is driving the market. We have Adani Ports, we have M&M, NTPC, Sun Pharma. All of these are the top stocks, again heavyweight stocks that are driving the markets ahead, right? So if we look at Kotak Bank, you look at SBI Life, Geo Finance, again banking stocks that are leading the rally today. Now it's time to talk about individual stocks, the stocks that we had named in the beginning of the sessions. We talk about Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank. Now, the reason why Axis Bank and IndusInd Bank are in focus today, let me quickly load up the charts here. If you look at Axis Bank over here, a huge gap down. Now, the reason why we are actually going to talk about Axis Bank is because of its quarterly results. The results were not very great. I would say the results were quite bad, and we can see that the market has already reacted to it with a gap down throughout the day today. If you look at the fundamentals and the results that came in for Axis Bank, the profit after tax or the net profit PAT, that was not very good. They reported a PAT with a loss of the PAT was down 0.65% year on year with around 7,071 crores. Talking about banks, the major source of revenue for the banks is the interest, right? The interest, income from interest that we have for the bank. That is their core operations, right? If you talk about the NII or the interest income, that did grow by 5%, which means revenue, the top line is perfect. The top line is growing by 5%, but throughout the entire chain of maybe the expenses, the liabilities that the bank has to go through, the bottom line is not able to grow. The bottom line is still flat or maybe reporting the numbers are not very positive, right? So that was a big negative for Axis Bank. However, if you look at the reports from various brokerages, the brokerages are still saying that Axis Bank has got some or the other, maybe they're going to improve over the coming quarters, or it has still got some strength behind its back. The reason behind that is the management commentary. See, when you look at quarter four results, you don't have to look at just look at the results and just come to a conclusion. Along with the results, you have to look at what the management is there to talk about that particular company. How does the top management think, like maybe can they grow the company or not? Can they take this company forward, say, in the next coming quarters? Do they think that the company will overcome the problems that they're facing right now? Or maybe there's some more problems that they think the company is going to face and it will affect the top line and bottom line. This commentary is very important, and that commentary for Axis Bank was pretty good. I would say that the top management is very confident about the growth of the company, right? So that is why you can see that the rally, the intraday recovery was already there in Axis Bank. Same thing if we talk about Paytm. Now, I believe almost everybody has they know what went wrong with Paytm over the weekend. RBI all of a sudden on Friday night they announced that the Paytm Payments Bank, which is the banking branch for Paytm, they've cancelled the license because several violations of the RBI's guidelines were done. But does that mean Paytm is a bad stock? Well, I don't think so, because majority of their revenue, it was not from the payments bank side. It was from their day to day. There are other services as well, right? So Paytm's payment bank service, that the banking branch is closed, but all of its other branches are still active, and they're looking forward to get greater revenue from all of those branches. So that is why once again we saw a gap down in Paytm, but intraday recovery. What a huge recovery! I believe at 9:30 in the morning, when I looked at Paytm, I was like, okay, let's try to short Paytm. Paytm was down 10% at 9:25 morning today, and by the end of the day, from minus 10%, you are seeing that the stock is almost near the flattish zone, which means almost 10% rally in just one trading hour, one trading day. So, right, if you look at the companies, not just quarter four results, not just their fundamental results, but also pay attention to their management commentary, you would get a lot of insights. And that is how, again, it's one of the way to filter out good stocks. Even after looking at quarter four results, you'll be able to filter out good stocks that will perform very well, even if the results are not good. So this was just the story about Axis Bank and Paytm. We have got numerous stocks that are releasing results almost every day. If you talk about, if I have to just give you an overview, we have IndusInd Bank. They reported a very strong quarter four results. Their net interest income had jumped like in double digit. It was up almost 40%. And their profitability, the net profit after tax, that was also up around 12 to 13%. So IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank, and we also have EU Small Finance Bank that is going to release its results today. So there are some good expectations from EU Small Finance Bank as well. So all of these banking stocks, I would say. So if you look at Bank Nifty or maybe private banks index, just focus on all of these banking stocks, and I believe these banking stocks are going to drive Nifty to its next level that we've already marked on the charts. People.
Got it, got it. Actually, can we continue with the other stocks as well? Then we look at Coal India and Varun Beverages.
Sure. Let's look at Coal India as well. Coal India is also going to release its results I believe it's coming today or tomorrow. Now, the reason why we're talking about Coal India is because of the coal demand and the numbers. See, every quarter and almost every month, there are these numbers that come in. Like for autos, we have the top sales, right? How many cars have been sold by Maruti Suzuki? How many cars have been sold by Mahindra and Mahindra? These are some auto numbers that we focus on. Similarly, every month, every quarter, we focus on these commodities numbers as well. Say, suppose coal hai, so how is the demand for coal going in? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it growing year over year or month over month, or is it falling? So, in these metrics are something which tell you how would that particular company perform in its upcoming quarter. For Coal India, the demand has already jumped, like, again, and it's a double digit growth for the coal demand as well. That is why we are here to talk about Coal India as well. Maybe if you want to wait for the quarter four results, you may very well do that. But what I would suggest is be a first mover rather than following everybody once the results are out. Maybe you can add Coal India to your watch list, or maybe if you get if you get a chance, have some positions in Coal India at this moment, not just for short term. You can even have stocks like Coal India, are like these are energy stocks, right? the demand for coal is never going to run to zero. It's not like all the industries would stop using coal. Although normal houses may, we have already stopped using coal long time ago, but industrial demand for coal, I don't think that will ever go to zero. So Coal India is one stock that you have to add not just for short term but for long term as well. For short term, I will tell you the levels that you have to watch for. 464 is the first level that I'd watch for in Coal India, and the second level would be 472. If these two levels are broken, I believe 500 would be on the charts as my next target. Talk like 500 would be the level if you're adding Coal India for medium to long term, right? Although the stock currently trades at 454, 500 is a level which is like it's like a psychological resistance for Coal India. So it might take a little while for Coal India to reach that level, but yeah, for short term, 464 and 472, these are the two levels that we have to watch out for Coal India.
Got it. Got it. Now let's come to your favorite part of the session. Let's look at the OI data.
Absolutely. Option data, which is open interest that we're going to look at right now. Now, why do we look at open interest? Just to see which direction will the market go in the next trading session. Here, what I'm seeing right now, the current strike price, which is 24,150, we are seeing at 24,150, the PCR is 0.46. Okay. Although the call OI is higher, it's almost double that of put OI, which ideally suggests that the call option prices might fall, the calls would not rally. But if you look at the PCR, that is 0.46, which indicates that there might be some rally coming in Nifty from current levels, right? So if you maybe if you have a long position in Nifty right now, or maybe if you're looking to have some long position maybe tomorrow, because tomorrow is its Nifty's monthly expiry, 28th of April. So maybe if you are having a long position in Nifty, or you're planning to have that, this might be an indication that Nifty might go somewhere positive. Even if you look at our recommendations on Z Experts today, I'm not able to open that up right now, but if you look at the recommendations today, we have already recommended 23,900 call option to carry it for the next trading session. Why is that? Because if you just look at the OI data over here, on at 23,900, you have the highest put option, right? The put option OI. It is somewhere in 1,13,000 contracts that are open right now in the put option, and these are like short contracts. People are willing to short the put at 23,900 strike price. Obviously, if people are shorting put, they would either go long on the call options, or they're just expecting that the markets will, even if the market comes down, the markets would bounce back from that particular level. That is the reason why we have given 23,900 call option to maybe the people should go long on that particular option and carry that overnight, because given the current conditions that the market are right now almost near our support at 24,000, I don't think 24,000 will be broken very easily in the upcoming trading sessions as well. Although tomorrow's expiry, every expiry is a volatile day, but 24,000 is a level that you have to maybe watch very carefully. If that level is broken, I believe the next support again, the previous level of 23,850 and 23,680 would be active once again.
Got it. Now, the word I was trying to search at the start of this video was tuned. So stay tuned. So what you guys can do right now is stay tuned for our next session, which is coming up tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Arjit, thank you so much for this wonderful session. Let's reconnect tomorrow.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.